So here today, we pulled the truck out for one of the first startups of the year. We have a flat tire in the back. So we're going to use that, which is a Harbor Freight bead breaker, to break down that bead, because I know that's where it's leaking, and put in some bead sealer and reseal it back up. We also might do an oil change. We'll see how things go today. Stay tuned. So next step on this is get your jack all set up. Get a nice good spot on the axle to jack up. Go ahead and start removing some of your lug nuts. Using your hubcap here on a Cummins. Here, it's real nice, real cool. Keep them all nice and easy. Yeah, I know, we're using cheap Harbor Freight stuff, but whatever gets the job done, right? And if you noticed in the first clip, I had the truck facing the other way. I had to put some air in the tire so that way we didn't ruin the tire. Flip it around so that we had better access. So the next step is jack it up, remove all of the lug nuts, and pop the wheel off. See you guys in a few seconds. Here we are in the garage because I'm not 100% sure myself. Mixed up a little soap and water solution. Put it on the bead here. And I don't see any leaks on this side, but hang on. Oh. Focus. You can see the valve stem. It's leaking inside the valve stem there. And looks like a little bit down on the bottom of the valve stem. Maybe not. So I have a new valve stem, so I'm just going to pop the bead and put a new one in after I check the other side, of course. And in case you guys are curious, these are 305 70/16s. Not the biggest tires, but hey, whatever. They're decent tires, and that's all that counts. So while we're playing around with the truck, I wanted to do a merch plug. There's the MV 4500. Need to get some fast coolers, but you know, hey, that'll take time. But I have this cool little bracket there that goes onto that transmission mount. You can see bolts on. It's an L bracket with a pin that goes all the way through. Now what I was having a problem with was the top metal piece here was separating from the bottom metal piece. So I made this bracket, and what it does is it hooks the two together so that way they can never expand too far and rip that rubber piece. Very important thing when you're putting down quite a bit of power. So there's that. You can find that on eBay. Just search in transmission bracket or transmission mount bracket, or just search around, but it's in eBay somewhere. Go check it out. Next step here is letting the air out of the tire and getting your bead breaker all set up. So you can hear I'm letting the air out using this little guy right here. But you're going to want to have a block of wood to get underneath to hold up on the rim, and also a ratchet strap. I like to go through that back handle right there onto the tire. You'll see when I get it all set up. And then also we got ourselves a bar, an extension bar for the handle, because well, I'm not big and strong, so that's what I like to do. Also, I like to bump it up against the tire, give it a backstop, because it likes to, when you're pushing down, it likes to shove backward, give you a little extra support. So check back in a second. One other thing I wanted to point out is, see this valve stem here? The core, the valve core? It's got the little spring on the back there. This is because I am using the little tire beads inside of the wheel here. I don't have any balancers on there, you might notice. No balancers. So I have little beads inside of the tire for self-balancing. They seem to work pretty good. I got them off eBay. You could probably find them at any tire store. So it's a cool thing to check out if you want to get rid of your wheel weights. Alright, so here is the setup. Notice how I got the ratchet strap on there. Making sure that the tire bead breaker portion is behind the ratchet strap and the block of wood is underneath the rim. So then I got the bar on there for extra leverage. And then you start out in that first spot and work your way down. Work your way down the little notches here. And then you probably have to stop every so often and rotate the tire and push in a new spot and just work yourself around the tire until it pops off. You can kind of see a couple snowflakes maybe in the shot now. It's starting to snow, but hey, you know, it's March in Western New York. What are you going to do about it? And about 2 minutes later, just had to move down to that second notch. We have the bead broken. Now the next step is going to be slicing off that valve core, popping a new valve core through the bottom, putting some bead sealer around there and popping it back on. So talk to you guys in a few. Alright, so what I did is use a tire bar and a piece of wood so I could got some room underneath there. I already got it out, but I can't see in there. But the old one right here, I sliced the bottom of it, and then I used a pair of pliers. Good tools. These are actually Snap-on for once. And I grabbed onto it and I pulled it out through the top. This is the new one. It's going to get fed through the bottom and pulled from the bottom to the top after I put a little bit of some bead sealer on there. So that's the next step, installing the new one. Well, first I'm going to clean up that hole that it goes into so there's no debris or nothing in there. It seals up better. So next step, here we come. So you didn't see it, I didn't show it to you, but we got the new valve stem in there. Nice new shiny. And I tested it. Of course, you always got to test your work. Put a little soap water around the bead and on the valve stem itself there. Nothing. Now, popping this tire back on the bead. One thing I'm going to tell you to help you out is if you leave the core on focus, if you take that core and you leave that core out of your valve stem and put the air to it without the core into there, you'll get more volume of air through and into there, and it will help you pop that bead on. And then sometimes I don't know how many people will agree with me on that, but sometimes it helps to take some grease and put some grease down in there to seal up that a little gap that you might have. So sometimes that helps to put a little grease down into there. Some people use a ratchet strap, you know, it's all up to you how you do it. This one went on really easy. Didn't need any grease or anything like that. She just popped right on. So now the next steps here are to just take it and put it onto the truck out there. As you can see, the front tire sticks out just a little bit, and you can see on that back there is a wheel spacer on there. Don't really recommend wheel spacers, but you know, if you know what the hell you're doing, you're not a dumbass, you might be able to get away with it. So we're not going to do an oil change today. As you can see, it's snowing out there. Again, March in Western New York, you know. So happy tuning. Oh yeah, like the little beer holder there, the beer cooler in the snow. That's how you do it, baby. All right, peace out, people.